going to stand up like you so that I can see your face. So thank you, Rami, for inviting me to this very important symposium. Dorothy Ley Hospice is not new to me. Probably have seen me before. When they had the opening ceremony here, I represented Buddhism and I also made a speech. And also this room is not new to me. I have come to this room many times to conduct some meditation sessions. I see some of you are here. And so even last month I was here with another monk to see a patient upstairs. And Rami was there and he compassionately and generously welcomed me with a happy face, which was wonderful. Thank you. So our first two speakers have talked about wonderful things. So now what I would like to present here is about Buddhism as a humanistic faith tradition, spirituality. As I talk about this, and of course I tell people all the time, although we, hold labels, let's say, I say these are labels like, the Buddhist monk or this is Buddhist or Christian or Muslim or Christian or Catholic or Jewish. These are kind of labels that we have. Like when we came to this world, we did not come with such labels, but when we born to such families, and we were given these labels. So I encourage people to, understand that we all are human beings. Let's say we are human beings. You could say you're the children of God, or others could say, the sons and daughters of Buddha, or so and so. But as human beings, we try to understand the true nature of existence. Like now we are dealing with the end of the life issue, which is death, or another aspect is the illness. So we understand that these are the problems of our own existence. Now what is this is like, I call them existential problems. Now what are these existential problems, let's say as human beings? Of course, let's say I said we are human beings. I want to exist. I want to exist in certain way, let's say happily. I want to exist with good health. I want to exist for a long time. In certain way, right? So now, although that is our wish, I want to, which is called the wish. I wish to live happily, with good health, with long life, but my existence is threatened by the experiences that are coming to us. Now, what are those experiences? Sickness, aging, and death. So these things are the problems, and they're threatening us. So now, in Buddhism, we talked about the fundamental, the concept is called, in Pali, in Buddhism, we call dukkha. And of course, dukkha has been translated into English as suffering, which is kind of negative. But even when you read the text, you will see the scholars defining dukkha as suffering, and they are saying life is suffering. But that's the misinterpretation of Buddha's teaching. Buddha is not talking about the life is suffering. All he's saying that there is this problem, there is this suffering, there's the dukkha. It's coming from two words. Like this, du means difficult, and ka means to bear. So dukkha simply means difficult to bear. Now, as human beings, what is it that is so difficult to bear in your life? You can relate something to yourself. Let's say you don't want to get old, but you're getting old. You don't want to get sick, but every day you're vulnerable to sickness. The flu, fever, whatever you call it, right? And you don't want to die, but then you see that your loved ones are saying goodbye to you, right? So now, these are the things sometimes that could make you kind of, what is the purpose of life, right? Now, Buddha understood this. And there is this story. Prior to, of course, Buddha was a prince, and he had a good life. And at the age of 29, he renounced the world. And he gives the reasons for renouncing the world. Why he gave up the privileged life. And there is this story. One day, he was going to the pleasure garden, and then on the way to the pleasure garden, he saw a person with the gray hair, a lot of wrinkles, and walking with a stick. And then he asked his friend, Chana, who is that? Then Chana said, Siddhartha, that's an old man. What do you mean, old man? Then he said, well, he was like us. Like when he must be at 60s or 70s or 80s. So he's not physically strong, emotionally not strong. He even needs a walking stick to help him walk. Then he asked a very important question. Chana, am I also subject to this? Then Chana says, Siddhartha, what are you talking about? If you're born, no choice. You had to get to that point someday. So then he says, my goodness, I'm a prince. I have everything. If I'm subject to this aging, what is the point of this? I have won freedom from this. Then he came back. On the second day, he saw a sick person. He asked the same questions. He got the same answers. On the third day, he saw 4 people who were carrying a dead body to the cemetery. He asked the same questions. He got the same answers. Now, he encountered 3 problems of the existence: aging, sickness, and death. So now, he said, I want freedom from this. I want freedom from this. Now, with that intention, at the age of 29, he renounced the world, and then adopted the simple lifestyle like a sannyasi, maybe ascetic like me, You can see this in the uniform. It's not like a fashion like that you have. It's like sannyasi, it's a simple life, right? So that he searched for the freedom from this, and he meditated for 6 years, and then at the age of 35, they said that through intensive practice of meditation, he understood the nature of the existence, and he understood why we keep being reborn in this cycle of life, and it is said that he was able to liberate himself from this cycle of life. Now, aging, sickness, death, and other things, these are what he called the characteristics of this cycle of life, called the samsara. So now, having said this, now I talk about, time to time, living happily, aging beautifully, dying peacefully. Now, these 3 are based on, this is what Buddha talked about. Let's say, it can be, anybody can live happily. Anybody can age beautifully. Anybody can die peacefully. Now, it depends on understanding. Now, this is what we call, and of course, almost all of you are the volunteers. You're working at the hospice. Now, it's a great service. You're contributing a lot. Now, can you make, or can you transform your life with service to wisdom? Service from wisdom. Now, what is this service? You are dealing with the people who are sick, who are about to say goodbye. You have your family members. When you come here, you see it. Now, for me as a Buddhist monk, maybe it's my good karma, bad karma from past. I became a monk at the age of 10. And then from the age 10 till now, today, today, I have seen many people who are dying, who died on my hand, holding me. I don't know whether you had that experience. When people die, they hold you strong. They hold you strong. So it tells you something psychologically. Although they're in pain, although they're dying, they don't want to die. They want to hang on to. Then, of course, my job as a Buddhist monk, it's okay. It's okay. Take a deep breath. It's okay. Relax. Let go. And then I go to hospitals almost every week. Again, as an act of compassion. I go to senior homes. I spend time with people. And also I tell people that my favorite places are like cemetery, hospital, and the senior homes. Time to time I go to cemeteries. It's for myself. I know that one day, it's a reminder, gentle reminder for me. One day I'm going to end up here. But before that, I have to contribute something to the society, and then I have to transfer myself from the service to wisdom. Now, what is this wisdom? I'm also subject to all this. So then, in order to do this, Buddhism teaches that we use two phrases called Kattabam Kusalam, which means do good. If there is anything, any good thing to be done, right? Do good. Charitabam Brahmacharya, then live a good life, holy life, wholesome life. Now why? Why do you need to do good? Why do you need to live a wholesome life? You have to understand, although we are young at this point, one day we are going to get old, one day we are going to die. When we leave this world, we are not going to take anything with us. We could have big mansions, lot of money, property, people, nothing. Nothing will come after us. But only thing will go after us, because Buddhism talks about samsara, as I said. It continues until you liberate yourself from the cycle of life. You're going through this journey. So if you go through this journey, then you have to do a lot of good to have a good life. So then, based on this, we always, of course, when people die, we get a lot of invitations. When people get sick, we get a lot of invitations because they want our presence. So when we go there, we talk about the reality of life. Now, reality of life. Be encouraged that to accept this reality with a compassionate heart. Don't deny. If you deny the reality, it's going to conflict with you. It's going to make your life painful, very painful. So then, when you accept the reality of life, what is the reality of life? Our whole life is based on one experience, that is impermanence, change. Everything is impermanent in life. It doesn't really matter. Even I am subject to tell you the truth, now I don't want to give a quantum physics lecture here. I'm not the same person who came here at 7 o'clock. But would you agree? I don't think so. But those who have a quantum physics understanding, you would agree with me. You're not the same people who left home this evening. You have to change. But you think, you assume you're the same person. So that is the problem, right? So then we understand this. With this, we try to live a very holy life. Now, when you get sick, there's a story. After telling this story, I'm going to stop it because so I'm a freestyle speaker and I don't worry about the time of things. That's because I have so much to say. But so it's like this is the story of a monk. What is this story? He said one day he was meditating because he understood life is impermanent. Before he dies, he wants to gain the liberation, the freedom from suffering, to become enlightened. So he devoted his time and energy to the practice of meditation, and he was practicing meditation all day, all night. And then one day he was kind of tired in midnight, and then he wanted to take a break, a rest. So he lay down on the bed, and then after a while, he felt there's something coldness in his leg, right? And then so he woke up. Then he realized that he saw the python was following his right leg. Now he didn't worry about this. He didn't regret or worry, or he wasn't restless. And he sat down. With the composed mind and heart, he was talking to the python as the python was swallowing his leg. He said, okay, my dear friend, you are swallowing me right now. I could be your food. There's no problem. But I can offer my whole body to you. But before you swallow my whole body, I want you to understand this. I have this noble intention. I have dedicated my time and energy to the practice of meditation to gain liberation from the suffering, to realize nirvana. And if you can take the responsibility in taking me to the realization of nirvana, then you can swallow me, my whole body. Then the python was afraid and he regurgitated his So then the story ends there. Now what is that? Python is a cancer, a sickness. When you get sick, you don't have to worry. This is a part of life. Accept the sickness and treat the sickness with compassion part. And tell compassionate to the sickness, about cancer or other things. I have this duty, right? And if you can take care of my family, you can eat me now. But if you cannot, you just go away. I think these are the things that I want to share with you, so thank you.